We're going to move into the use of hands in terms of releasing versus press, because we've shown some really good stuff with feet and with shoulders. But to eventually move by a guy, we got to be very aggressive and violent with the use of our own hands, and also do a great job of anticipating when to use them. And so we've got a drill here that we're going to use that can be used not only off the line of scrimmage, into your route, all throughout the phase of football. Just like a defensive lineman would use to rush the quarterback, great hand tactics to get off of the O-lineman's blocking technique. It's very similar. And right now, I mean, if you can remember some of the games you played as a kid, come over here, where you would put hands on top of the other guy, and I try to slap the top of his hands, and then he tries to do it to me, and I try to get out of there before he, and that's kind of what we're dealing with here, with him trying to touch my chest and me trying to release off the press. I'm trying to beat him to the punch. I can't allow his hands to get in on my numbers, or even a piece of my inside of my shoulder plate, because that'll open me up, rock me back, and take me out of my stride to my route. And any good defense knows that if they're going to press, what's the purpose? Is to disrupt the timing of the route so that the defenders can get to the quarterback. And our job is to not allow that to happen as a receiver, and so these are some of the tools we use. For instance, if I'm facing this player and I want to release to the side, then I'm going to use the nearest arm. And as that arm comes forward, I want to clear it. And just by clearing this arm, I end up turning his shoulders. And if I can get to this side of him as I clear his arm, I'm going to have a release. And so the technique we're going to use with our hands is that we want to use this portion of my hand and my wrist to be in a fixed position. I don't want to grab and clasp onto him, so I want to make sure I'm firm with my wrist and keep that in a fixed position. He raises that arm. I want to make any kind of contact with him from the wrist up into the tricep. That's my target zone, and so I should be able to connect here, 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 in any purpose. But if I just slap or flip my wrist, I feel that's inadequate. I want to see violent, firm slap to move the shoulders, not just the arm. So what we'll do is stand here in a receiver position, and let's just say the ball's to my left and I'm in my stance. My foot usually would be back if he's off. Now it's up under me. My hands want to be above his hands. So if his hands are low, then mine are here. If his hands are high, I want to be up here so that I can deflect and defeat this, protect my chest and shoulder pads. So say I want to release to the right side, we're going to do a drill where all we do is when he flashes, I'm going to slap him and move it. And he's going to reset and give me ample time. And that's one of the biggest problems with this drill is guys start going repetitively. It doesn't give the offensive guy opportunity to reset and treat each one of these like they're an individual route. So just say opportunity to show you a couple examples. My hands are here. He flashes, boom, I move. He flashes, I move. And it's firm and it's violent, and I want to make sure that I'm getting consistent at doing this. And with young players, we'll see a lot of slaps and misses. The key is to see, to look, and identify visually what it is you're trying to slap. I can't look at him in the face and be slapping a wrist and only catching it peripherally. So I may look at him now, but when the play starts, I anticipate a slap, I'm going to see it as I react. Okay? So with that alone, we're just going to pair up. Come on over here, Seth. And this side will be on offense. That side's on defense. And we'll just take a look at a couple of these reps. So go up close, and you guys yourselves show me what I'm talking about. Good. Stay put with your feet and just use your hand. We'll evolve later. We want a violent slap, firm. Good. Good. All right, relax. And in addition to just the slap, we also want to teach how we want to chop. So we call this slap and chop, but the chop phase, a lot of people don't understand that their players would open up their rib cage and expose that to the defender. So even I may slap him here, but then I go to get by, and it's tendency for people, especially younger players, to open up here as they go by and swim. And if swimming, all we're doing is exposing our rib cage and allowing him a second chance at driving me out of my stem. So for us, we're looking at what we call slap and chop. So I'm going to use both hands. Now that I've gone just slap, now I'm going to slap and chop. And for me to slap and chop, I want to add what we call, you can call it what you want, but we want to use the term knife. So I may slap, and I'm going to knife my hand through here. And now, as I go to step up field, I clear with this chop of my arm. So I'll take a look at it from the other side. I'll slap, get my hand through simultaneously, step and chop so I can clear the defender. So it's a slap and chop. And right here with that look, he'll flash, bring him back, and we'll just do this. Okay, so let's take a look at this from our players. quick hands. Good, chop down, Mike. There you go, finish through down. Okay, good, that's enough. And then the third phase to this would be, well, one is just a slap, two is slap and chop, and now we got to get our lower half involved. So I can't just slap and chop a guy and still be here. So I want to get my hip to his hip. If I'm releasing to the outside, I want to get what we call hip to hip. And I could turn it this way and be hip to hip. So in the use of my slap and chop, I've got to get a step so my hip's equal to his hip. So you'll see right here, and that's where I want to be, okay? And let's go ahead and take a look at that, guys. Give me a couple reps where we're stepping up hip to hip as we slap and chop. Good, now bring it back.